On the final weekend of the regular season, we have rivalry matchups to be played and bragging rights to be handed out. And tonight's presentation of Ohio High School boys basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health, brings us to Jackson High School as the Jackson Ironmen at 15-5 play host to the Chillicothe Cavaliers at 10-10. We welcome you into Jackson High School. Carson Francis joining you tonight along with John Bruce. John, in the FAC, as far as that picture is concerned, Miami Trace can win the league tonight with a win over Washington Courthouse. But this game between Chillicothe and Jackson is all the more important to the two teams playing on the floor tonight.
Yeah, and one of the big things for both teams is that they are, very underclassmen heavy. So you're going to see a lot of returning players. For me, the biggest thing for Chillicothe, you got to start winning some of these tight games. They've lost a lot of close games so far this year, including a 2-point game to Jackson back on January 17th, which is it's kind of crazy looking through the notes. They've had all these scores that are very close together, very similar games. You know, when the game was at Chillicothe, they're more than likely going to be tight. But Jackson's had a really nice season so far, and they want to get some momentum back that it looked like they were starting to get about a week and a half ago, and it kind of went away within about 4 days with that 2-point loss up to Miami Trace and then a 4-point loss to Zane Trace. They want to try to get some of that momentum back. They started with a win at Washington Courthouse, then beat Waverly. It would be nice for them if they get another win tonight, another win on Monday, then get going into tournament time with some extra momentum.
The Ironmen are the number 2 seed in the Southeast 1 district in Division 4. They will face the winner of Waverly and Washington Courthouse, two teams that they've played pretty recently. That game, a district semifinal at Southeastern High School. The Ironmen were led in scoring in their last game by Bodie Wolford, 21 points and 7 steals. A good game on both sides of the ball for Bodie Wolford, the 6'2 junior for this Ironman squad.
Yeah, this is our third game we've streamed with Jackson so far this season, and each of the first two, Bodie Wolford's made a major impact on the defensive end. The offensive game kind of coming along throughout the season, as evident with that last game, but the defensive end is where he's really able to make a huge impact for the Ironmen. They're a team that doesn't shoot the ball super well from the outside. So anything they can get in transition, anything they can do to slow you down defensively will give them the better chance to win the game. And they do a lot of that behind Bodie Wolford.
Yeah, and you mentioned defense. Jackson kind of relied on that throughout the year. They were 14-1 this season when they hold their opponents to under 50 points.
Yeah, and that one loss was a Miami Trace game where they were winning late in that game, missed some free throws. Miami Trace made a couple of big plays down the stretch to ultimately win that one 43-41. But defense wins championships, and that's kind of what Jackson is built off of, is defense, and they're going to make you play in the half court. And when you see all of these guys, you can tell they are multi-sport athletes. A lot of them are football, baseball, basketball players. And because they win in those sports, they know how to win here in basketball as well, which has gotten them off to a really nice start to 15-5. For Chillicothe, you've got multi-sport athletes as well, but you're still mixing in where Jackson's a lot of juniors. You throw in Garrett Legg as a senior, CJ Crabtree as a sophomore. The rest are juniors that play rotation minutes for them. For Chillicothe, it's a mix. You've got a senior, junior, or a couple seniors in the starting lineup, a junior, a couple sophomores. You got a freshman that plays as well for them. So you've got a mix of grade levels. I think that may be part of the reason why they've lost a lot of these tight games, but also with how talented they are, that's why they're in a lot of these games as well, that in the future you're going to see them winning more and more of.
Yeah, and I think you look at their schedule. I mean, really the only team on that schedule that might be a head-scratcher in the loss column is that loss to Portsmouth back on January 18th down at Shawnee State, but they've played a lot of really tough teams that they've battled with. This team is battle-tested, and, it might help them down the stretch here at the end of the regular season going into the tournament, having that experience in close games.
Yeah, I think they would tell you they probably should have beat Central Crossing as well. That was a game they, had a chance to get a stop late and made a defensive mistake, ended up losing that game in overtime. But yeah, New Albany, that's a team that's beating pretty much every. I think they're already in a district final. I think they're one of the 4 teams that got the auto bye to the district final.
I think they're one of the only teams in Division II that got that nod in the Central District as well.
Yeah, so I mean, you play a Hilliard-Davidson team that played Medford and Miami Trace really tight. You played Jackson, Miami Trace super tight throughout. You won a close one at Hillsborough as well. And then the teams they should have taken care of, they have, which is you've got Adena, a big win there, a double-digit win against a Vinton County team, and then also Western Brown really put it on them as well. So they've taken care of business when they've needed to, and they've won their last 2 and have played pretty well since that loss to Miami Trace.
Cavaliers are winners of their last 2, 6 of their last 8, most recently coming on Tuesday, a 67-61 win over Logan Elm with Caden Cox leading the way with 21 points, Cooper Stone King 18. That duo has been a staple in this Cavaliers starting 5 this year and last year both, along with the likes of Andrew Hammond and Cam Badger as well.
Yeah, they're guys that have played a lot of varsity minutes. You're going to see them get better and better. And as you said, winners of 6 of their last 8, correct? Yeah, winners of 6 of their last 8. That's when you start getting rolling. You start seeing the wins instead of the losses. You feel a lot better about yourselves. And ultimately, you're going to have more confidence going into that postseason, which not the easiest because you're in Division III, but I think they can get that first-round win over Sheridan before it would be a rematch with Miami Trace. So.
Should be an interesting matchup to close out the regular season in the FAC. It's the Ironmen and the Cavaliers coming your way from Jackson High School. You're watching Ohio High School basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo-Hio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
You look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par-Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par-Mar has it. Download the Par-Mar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Par-Mar rewards card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Caleb Williams has transferred to Wendy's for the new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This burger's my inspiration, and I just hope to inspire you.
Oh, you have inspired us.
Thought we were doing names on the headband.
Get it together. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie & Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
Back here inside Jackson High School for this FAC rivalry showdown between the Chillicothe Cavaliers and the Jackson Ironmen. As you see, the lights are out in the gym as the Jackson Ironmen are about to be introduced in front of their home crowd. So really quickly, we'll go over the starting lineups for both teams. For the Chillicothe Cavaliers, Juan Miller, Caden Cox, Andrew Hammond, Cooper Stoneking, and Cam Badger round out the starting five for the Cavaliers, as they've done for the better part of this season for Pat Beard and the Cavaliers, who stand at 10-10 on the season. Now the introductions for Max Morrow's Jackson Ironmen. Starting out, Stephen Jenkins, Garrett Legg, Charlie Woodard, Ryan Simons, and as we talked about in the open, Bodie Wolford. The starting five for the Jackson Ironmen, standing at 15-5, 7-2 in the FAC.
It's two well-coached teams, two very athletic teams as well. First one, 56-54 in favor of Jackson. Don't be surprised if you see something similar here tonight.
Jackson senior Garrett Legg makes his way off the bench, the lone senior on this Ironman squad on senior night at Jackson High School. Transferred in from Piketon this season, wants to go out with one last win on his home court here at Jackson.
Yeah, it ended up kind of a tough break for Piketon because you lost two really good players that have been big contributors to top teams in our area this year, with Legg to Jackson with 15-5, and then Declan Davis over at Eastern Pike with only two losses, I believe 17-2 at this point in the season. So pretty tough loss for Piketon on that, two outstanding players.
Caden Cox and Charlie Woodward stand in the center circle. Chillicothe wins the tip, and we're underway from Jackson High School. It's the Cavaliers and the Ironmen for the second time this season. As Cooper Stoneking has it out on the far side wing. Finds Cox in the corner. Chillicothe running through their offense. Andrew Hammond gives it back to Caden Cox. On the far side, Miller drives, kicks it out. Cox again. Cavaliers working the perimeter. Here's Cox, he'll fire from outside. And it goes with the perfect bounce.
A nice drive and kick there from Cooper Stoneking to the corner. Juan Miller moves it quickly. And Caden Cox buries the triple. First lead of the game.
Now the Ironmen look to answer. It's Stephen Jenkins in the corner. Here's Simons. Outside leg from the opposite corner. That's no good, and Badger hauls in the rebound. Stoneking up the floor. He'll kick it out. Hammond, corner three. No good. And Stephen Jenkins picks it up. He'll push it down the floor for the Ironmen. Jenkins crosses over, lost a dribble, and gets it back. Simons will give it back out to Jenkins, and he'll slow it down. Jenkins hit two free throws late to give the Ironmen the win in the last meeting between these two squads.
Yeah, not going to see Jackson in a big hurry anywhere unless they have numbers on the break. They're going to run through their stuff. And typically, if you get lazy defensively, they're going to get a really good look.
Here's Wolford on the drive. It's good. Off the glass for 2 points, Bodie Wolford.
And there, just a little miscommunication. A good screen up top. Probably should have switched that. Maybe not the action that Coach Beard's team goes with defensively, but it ends up with a left-handed layup for Bodie Wolford to get the scoring started.
Wolford, the leading scorer on this Jackson squad, 13 points a game for the junior. Here's Cox, pull up, no good. Too strong on that one. Leg gets the rebound, and Simons tried to go up the floor for Wolford, and it's deflected out of bounds.
Yeah, you don't typically see them try to move it up the floor that quickly when they don't have numbers like that. Pretty fortunate for the Ironmen that it did not end up in a turnover.
Simons will inbound from the baseline. We'll get it in. It's Jenkins. And Jackson again in no hurry as Leg will bring it out of the corner. And Jenkins trying to back down. Cox finds Leg on the baseline, kicks it out. Woodard a three. It's good.
Yeah, nice.
Charlie Woodard.
Good drive and kick. Good offense there. Good action. Using the backdoor cut and then a little bit of a drift pass there. Woodard buries the triple, his first points of the game.
3 points from number 3 gives the Ironmen their first lead of the night. How will Chillicothe answer? Here's Juan Miller trying to drive past Wolford. Hammond backs it out of the high post. Now Stone King drives through traffic, can't get it to fall. Woodward corrals it, he'll bring it up the floor. Now Simons from downtown, that won't go. And Stone King with the rebound. Pat Beard wanting his team to push the ball up the floor. Miller jump stops, gives it to Stone King from way downtown and knocks it down. Cooper Stone King gets it to fall.
Good work there by Stone King, just getting his feet set and bury the triple. 2 for 3 from deep so far for the Cavaliers.
Those 2 threes responsible for the 6 points on the board for the Cavaliers. It's a 6-5 lead. So Wolford finds Leg inside. He'll kick it out. Woodward again for 3. That's no good.
Woodard gets his feet set pretty well there. Just unable to get the 3 to fall.
Badger on the fast break. Can't handle it. Gets it back, though. Turnaround jumper's good from Cam Badger off the glass.
So good work by Badger, just sticking with it there. After getting the long rebound, goes coast to coast. Nearly loses it, but a good finish inside.
Now Simons on the other end. It's good. A fast basket for the Ironmen from Ryan Simons. Now Stone King gets by Wolford, and Wolford pokes it away from behind. Stolen back by Cox. Mid-range jumper gets it to go. And there's a foul. Do they say it happened before the shot? I believe it did.
I think they're going to check. They did count it, so.
So the basket does count.
He just didn't signal it in initially, but good work by the scorers table to verify, even though we were pretty sure.
Foul goes on Stone King, his first of the night, as Leg gets it underneath, blocked by Badger. And the ball's loose. Badger picks it up, and the Cavaliers have a 3-on-2. Badger step through, off the glass, won't go. Rebound Hammond. That's no good, and Leg grabs the rebound. There's Woodard, mid-range pull-up, in and out. Cox grabs the rebound, and he'll bring it up the floor for the Cavaliers. Stone King on the drive, backs it out off the back of his ankle. He's able to still handle it, though. Here's Badger mid-range, no good, and Leg pulls it down.
We're not seeing great shot attempts right now. Kind of going quick. Looks like both teams a little winded. So we haven't had a real stoppage for a little bit. No free throws yet.
Simons out to Jenkins in the corner. Tried to go for Wolford in the post. It's deflected and out of bounds. And we'll see a substitution now for the Cavaliers as Carte Ligon enters the game for the first time tonight, as does Jax Carroll for Jackson.
If you haven't seen Carte Ligon yet this year, dude he's only a freshman, but is one of the better athletes in our entire coverage area already.
Here's Wolford down the paint, can't get it to go. And Hammond grabs the rebound and draws the foul. Yeah, you mentioned the athleticism of Carte Ligon. We've seen it on the basketball court, but a lot of people in the area know football is his strength. He's already got 2 D1 offers from Akron and the University of South Florida. 1,600 all-purpose yards.
I know
for
which
the
one I would
Cavaliers.
go to. I'd probably go to the more comfortable weather of Akron.
Carroll gets a steal for the Ironmen. And now here's Simons, pulls up from the elbow. It's good. Ryan Simons gets the mid-range jumper to fall. He's got 4 points so far tonight.
Yeah, good job in transition there. Carroll does a good job of drawing the defender, kicking to Simons, who buries the 15-footer. 4 points now for Simons.
Under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, and what's been a pretty fast-paced game for the Cavaliers as Ligon finds Cox inside, trying to back down Carroll. Turnaround jumper off the rim. Woodard grabs it, gives it to Jenkins, who brings it up the floor. Jenkins has some open room and gets it to go, and a foul. Up and under.
Yeah, we've said throughout this season, you got to go until someone stops the ball. No one stops the ball. Steven Jenkins goes in, and kind of a light touch, but goes through the contact of Cooper Stone King and finishes. Second foul on Stone King, and he's a major player for this Chillicothe team. Don't look for him to sit the rest of the half, but might be sitting for a little bit of an extended period of time here.
Cam Badger re-enters the game for the Cavaliers as Jenkins completes the and one at the stripe. It's a 2-point lead for the Ironmen.
It's the third lead change so far tonight. I'm feeling we're going to have a good number of those.
Cox stands at the top of the key, gives it to Juan Miller. Miller, mid-range pull-up, got deflected, and Ligon and Jenkins fighting for the rebound. And the possession arrow points towards Jackson, and the Ironmen take over.
A good battle there between Jenkins and Ligon, but ultimately just go with the possession arrow. Shot comes up a little bit short for Juan Miller.
Jenkins, 21 points and 6 rebounds, the leading scorer for both teams in that 54-52 win the last time, as Carroll can't get the mid-range jumper to fall. Woodard on the rebound. That's no good. And Carroll got it stripped, and they're going to say Carroll was the last to touch it. So Chillicothe gets possession back with 59 seconds left as Garrett Legg will re-enter for the Ironmen.
Yeah, good hands there, as it looked like Carroll was going to have a chance to just go up and lay that back in. But good hands knocking that ball away. I believe by Cam Badger.
Hammond guarded by Legg, gets a screen from Ligon. Ligon again sets a screen for Cox, who pulls up from just inside the arc, can't get it to go. And there's another fight for it. Ligon on the ground, picked up by Jenkins. And now Simons up the floor, Wolford. And now Jackson might slow it down a little bit. Less than 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Wolford has it on the near side wing, dribbles to the middle of the floor. Badger trying to guard him tight, now Legg, far side wing. Here's Simons now, draws the foul before kicking it out to Jenkins.
I believe that's going to be on Badger.
Now just before the quarter ends, Charlie Woodard will re-enter for the Ironmen, replacing Bodie Wolford.
A little bit better shooter, maybe it'll help spread the floor a little bit. A little more floor spacing.
Simons receives the inbound. Simons fouled by Miller on the drive. And that was Chillicothe's last foul to give before the end of the quarter.
You don't see, we haven't seen a whole lot of it before the fourth quarter on these, but I like that strategy there, just to give it, waste a little more time.
Woodard will inbound again, going to Legg, who hands it back to Woodard. And Woodard lost it, and the Cavaliers will have a possession with 2.9 to go.
Yeah, Juan Miller almost picked up a second one there or drew a charge. Either way, ends up just being a loose ball out of bounds.
Badger inbounds to Miller. Miller fires from way outside, almost got it to go, but it's no good, and the Jackson Ironmen have a 12-10 lead after 8 minutes of play. And we'll step aside from Jackson High School. You're watching Ohio High School boys basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
Back here inside Jackson High School, it's the second quarter about to get underway with the Ironmen leading 12-10 in what was a back-and-forth first quarter.
Yeah, it was back and forth, as you mentioned, 3 lead changes. Some good looks from Chillicothe, just ain't able to get him to fall.
Here's Andrew Hammond outside for the Cavaliers, off the screen from Ligon. Now Miller finds Ligon in the post. Ligon gets it stripped away. And Badger comes up with the loose ball, and they're going to say he traveled.
Yeah, Ligon just a little too excited so far, which has led to a couple of mishandlings. That one, it looked like Badger had a chance to, but just shuffled the feet.
Ligon, only a freshman, came off the bench in the first quarter. He's shown a lot of energy out there. As Jenkins spins, tried to go for leg on the baseline, and Hammond was right there for the steal. And Miller pushes up the floor for the Cavaliers. Cox, turnaround, and gets it to go from mid-range.
Good work there by Caden Cox. He's got 7 now to lead all scorers.
All knotted up at 12, and Cox gets a steal. Up the floor, here's Ligon down the paint, gets the foul.
2 quick turnovers will lead to a chance for Ligon to get going here at the free throw line. First foul on Jenkins.
We've seen Ligon a couple times this year throw some of those down when he gets the chance. Jenkins caused the foul, wasn't going to let that happen. As Ligon is short on the first free throw attempt, as Ryan Simets re-enters the game for the Ironmen. And we talked about it in the open. Jackson gets a bye right into the district semifinal. They have not won a district title in school history.
Yeah, they've gotten close the last the last few years, but have not been able to get over that final hump. We'll see if this year is the year.
So Ligon made the second free throw to give the Cavaliers a 1-point lead, and Ligon swats the ball out of bounds. Good deflection from Carte Ligon. And you know, it's interesting, too, the last 2 times that Jackson has made a district final was 2019 and 2022. And in both instances, the team they lost to would go on to make an appearance in the state tournament.
Yeah, it's just been kind of a tough break when they've gotten to that spot. We'll see this year, though.
Simets dribble handoff over to Bodie Wolford. Ironman working the perimeter as Simets finds Woodard inside. Woodard turnaround jumper, gets it to fall. Rolls around the rim and goes for Charlie Woodard. Gives the Ironmen the lead back.
Yeah, just good athletic play from Woodard. Brings the lead back, 5th lead change of the game.
Now Hammond, mid-range pull-up, that goes.
First points for Hammond, but another good look inside. Both teams just trading baskets at this point.
Little 2-man action from the Ironmen up the floor, and there's another steal for Chillicothe. Here's Ligon up the floor, one-on-one, draws the foul on Simets.
Yeah, Ligon, he's been a little loose with the ball offensively, but he's making things happen defensively. Another turnover forced by Ligon, and now he'll go to the line where he's 1 for 2. It's the 5th turnover, 3rd already in the first 2+ minutes here of the second quarter.
Ligon knocks down the first attempt, 7 points in the win over Logan Elm for Cartier Ligon. Second attempt from the stripe, no good from Ligon. Woodard grabs the rebound and Wolford brings it up for the Ironmen.
A little too aggressive there from Ligon, but don't mind it.
First foul of the night on Ligon, and the team's first of the quarter for Chillicothe. .547 left in the first half as Jenkins stands on the near side wing. Jenkins spins, fadeaway jumper, nothing but net.
Yeah, good work there from Jenkins. Looked like he was going to go with a couple of big crossovers there, but then just goes a little more patiently, gets in the lane. 5 points now for Jenkins.
Now Badger stands at the top of the key. Ligon off the handoff, too strong. And here comes Jenkins. Jenkins working on Miller. Jenkins kicks it out. Now Wolford stands in the corner. Wolford trying to back down Hammond in the post. Picks up his dribble, got it knocked away. Back outside, Woodard from downtown. That's good. Charlie Woodard again from outside, and the Ironmen take a 3-point lead.
Yeah, this is a team that doesn't shoot the ball super well from the outside. Woodard is possibly the only exception to that for the Ironmen. He knocks down his second triple.
Miller inside, Hammond, corner three. That's no good. And Jenkins hauls it in, and he pushes up the floor, guarded by Cox. Spin move gets by Caden Cox. Finds Wolford inside for 2 points. Good ball movement there from Steven Jenkins to conduct the fast break. Finds Bodie Wolford inside for 2 points.
Yeah, 4 points now for Bodie Wolford. 5 boards, 5 rebounds, and then that big assist for Steven Jenkins.
How will Chillicothe answer? Here's Hammond. Pulls up off the front iron. And Ligon grabs the rebound and before immediately turning it over. Now here's Woodard again. Simons thought about taking the long three. He'll give it up. Here's Legg back outside to Jenkins. Now Simons again gets it poked away by Miller. And the Cavaliers have numbers. Here's Hammond down the paint. Off the glass, can't get it to go. Gets his own rebound. Second effort's no good. Too many missed opportunities there for the Cavaliers. Now Simons picks up his dribble. Corner three from Jenkins, too strong. And Miller grabs the rebound, fires it to Cox. Now Chillicothe kind of slowing things down a little bit. Badger drives down the middle, up and under, that won't go. Chillicothe cannot take the lid off the basket. And Max Morrow will call a timeout with possession and just a little over 3 minutes to go. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. But Chillicothe having a hard time finishing on these open looks.
Yeah, they're getting good looks, just not finishing near the rim, and they're not super contested either. So they got to tighten that up because they're getting the looks that they want, and they're forcing tough shots for Jackson. So fortunately for Chillicothe, Jackson not knocking down some of these looks on their end, or else this would be much more than a 5-point game. This is one of those gyms, there's not very much energy in it, so you got to bring your own energy. It looks like Chillicothe is trying to, but when you're missing layups, that energy also kind of gets sucked out in that way as well, as we're going to see C.J. Crabtree into the game for the first time for Jackson, as Jax Carroll also returns.
Max Morrow and the Ironmen getting a couple guys some rest here with Carroll and Crabtree now entering the game. First action for C.J. Crabtree on the night. Morrow took over this Jackson program in 2015, has led them to 3 sectional titles and a 2021 FAC championship as well. As Carroll gives it out to Woodard.
But with how good Jackson's been under Morrow, that says a lot about how tough the FAC is that they've only won the one FAC title in that time.
Ironmen working around the perimeter, slowing things down a little bit as Wolford drives, kicks it out. Corner three, no good from Woodard. And Chillicothe will have another chance here. 2:14 left. Cooper Stone King back in the game for the Cavaliers. He picked up 2 fouls back in the first quarter.
And Noah Netter pulled that board down, his first appearance of the game as well for the Cavaliers.
For Stone King, jump stops, finds Miller in the corner for 3. That's no good, and Woodard hauls in the rebound.
His 7th rebound already.
Already a big key factor for the Ironmen this game. 8 points to go along with those 7 rebounds as Simons commits the offensive foul on Juan Miller. It's the second foul of the night on Simons as more substitutions come in. His leg will re-enter for Jackson, and Carte Ligon re-enters the game for the Cavaliers.
I don't love that call.
.140 left here in the second quarter. Chillicothe trailing by 5. Gone on a cold streak offensively as Cooper Stone King draws the foul, and the Jackson crowd not sure about that one.
Yeah, they're making some noise, though. That's a positive because that hasn't really happened much so far tonight. It looked like Stone King kind of just put the ball out there for Carroll, but he's going to be called for the foul, his first. The positive for the Ironmen, outside of Simons, not really any foul trouble. Simons with 2. See if Chillicothe can get something going on the offensive end here.
There's Cox on the far side wing, guarded by Woodard. Under a minute and a half left. Stone King tried to go inside for Netter. Just looking to give it up. Netter lost it and picked up by Woodard. Charlie Woodard gets it back. He'll give it out to Wolford. Wolford drives, picks up his dribble. Oh, here's Woodard again inside the leg in the post, guarded by Netter. Under a minute left. Ironmen working through their offense. Here's Wolford. Jump stops through contact, too strong. But Woodard grabs the offensive rebound.
Good job keeping that play alive by Garrett Legg, and did not get called for the foul because that would have resulted in free throws for the Cavaliers.
Could be a crucial extra possession here for the Jackson Ironmen. As Wolford backs it out, he's guarded by Stone King. 30 seconds till halftime.
Wouldn't be shocked if we see Wolford go at Stone King with Stone King's fouls.
And Stone King.
Well, they both were counting. That's atrocious officiating. Because the near official had taken over, and then the far official, who's 30 feet away, decided to call the 5 seconds. That's bad.
Nonetheless, maybe a big break for the Cavaliers. 10 seconds remain. Stone King has it. 5 seconds. Stone King tried to give it up. Gets it tipped. Cox from way downtown airmails it. And that'll bring us to the halftime buzzer. The Jackson Ironmen have a 5-point lead on the Chillicothe Cavaliers in what's been a back-and-forth battle. Ironmen able to create some separation late. And we'll head to halftime from Jackson High School. You're watching Ohio High School boys basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real, reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glow Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glow Fiber is here. Welcome to Glowhio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiber.com to switch today.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
You look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
If there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par Mar has it. Download the Par Mar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Par Mar rewards card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Caleb Williams has transferred to Wendy's for the new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This burger's my inspiration, and I just hope to inspire you.
Oh, you have inspired us.
Thought we were doing names on the headband.
Get it together. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie & Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
Halftime inside Jackson High School, where the home team, the Jackson Ironmen, have a 21-16 lead over the Chillicothe Cavaliers in the penultimate regular season game for each team.
Way to use your language skills there, Carson.
I mean, I am a journalism major at the EW Scripps School of Journalism. That's not a shameless plug for anybody watching who's maybe making a college decision. Who knows? But going back to this game, it's been an interesting game. The first quarter was back and forth, and most of the second quarter was, but Jackson was able to pull away late and give themselves a multi-score lead.
Yeah, it wasn't the prettiest half. We didn't have much scoring, especially late in that half. I didn't write down the time of the last score, but it was quite a long time of no scoring between the teams. And ultimately, though, it was Jackson on the defensive end. Well, Chillicothe was getting some decent looks. Once they got that timeout with a little over 2 minutes left, Chillicothe got nothing after that. It was no good looks after that. Jackson will also run a lot of clock if they have to. They'll get the shot they want, but ultimately they're going to take their time. Unless they have numbers, Jackson's going to make you play. So you got to score with them. You got to try to get out ahead of Jackson, or else it could be a long 32 minutes, and that's what it's proved to be so far. The only thing for Jackson is the 8 turnovers. Now, the iffy one late on the 5-second call, but, that's still, even if you see the official next to you isn't calling, you still got to try to get some of that room just in case. So only 4 turnovers for Chillicothe. Chillicothe forces some turnovers, but unable to really get anything going. First quarter, Jackson won it 12-10. They won the second quarter 11-6 to give them this comfortable lead at the break. I say comfortable only because it's what Jackson can do with the ball, where every one of their guys can handle the ball. Garrett Legg last year, now he pretty much plays a center spot for them here, but last year at Piketon, he had a triple-double in a game with assists because he can handle the ball. He's a very good passer as well, and he's probably the one that touches the ball the least on the offensive end. So if they have to, they've got 5 guys that can do it. So That's one of the things I do really like about this Jackson team. For Jackson, in that first half, they were led by Charlie Woodard with 8 points, 7 rebounds. Stephen Jenkins with 5 points and 5 rebounds. Bodie Wolford and Ryan Simons each with 4 points. And then, as I mentioned, Garrett Legg did not score, but he had 5 rebounds and an assist as well. Played a nice game for them. Jax Carroll came off the bench, had a steal and an assist on a fast break as well. So good work for the Ironmen. CJ Crabtree just saw a couple minutes there in that second quarter, but I would possibly see him a little more here in the second half, but no real foul trouble to mention besides Ryan Simons with the 2, but he's a really heady player, 3-year starter now. See if he can be smart and make sure to stay out of any extra foul trouble. For the Cavaliers, they're led by Caden Cox with 7. I believe either all 7 were in the first quarter or he got the first 2 of the second quarter, which I think is what it was, and then didn't get another shot off after that. So they did a good job of cutting him off, as he's kind of the guy who makes things go scoring-wise for the Cavaliers. Then Cooper Stone King with 3, and then 2 points each for Carte Ligon, Cam Badger, and Andrew Hammond. Hammond is only 1 for 7 from the field so far, getting some good looks. He's got 3 rebounds, Cam Badger with 4, as Jackson is out-rebounding the Cavaliers substantially as well.
And I think one of the stories that we talked about why Jackson is in this lead is just, we talked about it earlier, Chillicothe's inability to finish. Had plenty of open looks there about middle of the second quarter, just couldn't finish on any of them.
Yeah, got some good looks, and then it looked like they're forcing it a little bit. They're trying a little bit too hard to get to the rim and try to get through the contact. Not a lot of fouls called in the half, I believe. There are only 4 free throw attempts, all by Carte Ligon. So outside of Ligon, they haven't really been able to get to the free throw stripe really for either team. And that was the last points of the half for Chillicothe, was what Ligon was able to do at the line as well.
An update elsewhere in the FAC, well, not really an update, but Miami Trace and Washington Courthouse just about to get underway from Miami Trace. The Panthers looking to clinch the FAC title outright with a win tonight.
You mentioned rivalry games, so that's one of the really cool things that the FAC does. This would normally be the last league game of the season, but with the snow, we've had a couple different delays. Games that got pushed back to Chillicothe plays McLean tomorrow. Miami Trace, I think, plays Hillsborough on Tuesday. Something along those lines to finish out their side. But they finish with the rivalry to end each level, like each season. So where Chillicothe Jackson play, Courthouse and Miami Trace play, and then McLean and Hillsborough. So that's one of the really cool scheduling things.
I used to like it when I played, because I have played in a setting like this before in this exact matchup, where I wish I kind of don't like how they changed it this year, but they used to play them all on Saturday and then have an all-day thing where you had all your girls' games first, and then you would have your JV boys, your varsity boys to round out the day. But you could, if you were a fan and you wanted to come and watch some basketball, you could pay one price and get into every single game.
You have not coached. Coaches hate it. I hated it so much. But also, I did some of them where
is it just having to sit through all the games? Okay,
well, and especially coaching at the lower levels, because then it's like you never know when you're actually going to start. There was a year where I was the freshman coach at Uniota, helped with the JV. They played freshman boys, JV girls, JV boys, varsity girls, varsity boys, and it was at Logan. And that's how we started our season. Wow. So that is why I'm not a fan of those. I get it as a player because, and then as a fan as well, because you get a chance to see a lot of different games that you may not get to see normally.
Well, going back to that note, the Ironmen have won the last 5 in the series against Chillicothe. Chillicothe's last win in the series came in 2022, which happened to be my last game at Chillicothe.
I knew you were going to tie yourself into that one.
So nonetheless, the Ironmen looking to build on this 5-point lead as the second half is underway, as Garrett Legg hands it off to Charlie Woodard.
As I said, they're not going to get into a big hurry here.
Jenkins Inside spins, guarded by Cox. Gets it to go. Tough basket off the glass for Stephen Jenkins.
Yeah, you don't get in a hurry until you see the matchup you like. Jenkins liked what he could get down onto the block, and then he's just a mature player. Takes his time and scores inside. 7 now for Stephen Jenkins.
Chillicothe faces their largest deficit of the night now as Cox fires from the corner and gets it to go. Nothing but net for Caden Cox.
10 points now for Caden Cox, his first shot since the beginning of the second quarter.
Cavaliers cut the lead back to 4 as Wolford spins, fires inside, can't get it to go, and Hammond grabs the rebound. There's one. Miller now fires from the baseline, too short. And Jenkins is strong with the rebound. He brings it up for the Ironmen. Now Jenkins on Miller, spins inside, blocked by Hammond, swatted out of bounds.
And if you watch Jenkins' footwork, you might think there's a travel in there. His dad's a longtime official, so he knows exactly what he can do. Really good dribble moves with nice help side defense there by Hammond.
They inbound it to Wolford, who finds Simons in the corner, and Simons knocks down the triple.
Yeah, good play there. Pretty simple out-of-bounds play. Just get the shooter back in the corner, screen for him, kick it out, but the shooter's got to knock it down. Simons does a really good job. Soft shot, 7 points now.
Now Cox tries to answer with a 3 of his own. That won't go. And it was last touched by Jenkins, and the Cavaliers keep possession.
Good effort there. I believe it was by Hammond just to keep going at it without fouling.
Miller to inbound. Trying to get something, tried to find Hammond. It was deflected by Leg.
A lot of misdirection on that, but not much with the misdirection on top. So good work there by Leg to not fall for any of the other action.
Miller quickly inbounds it to Badger before he dumps it back off to Miller. Miller through traffic. Puts it up. They'll say the foul was on the floor, I believe. Yes.
It's going to be on Wolford, his second.
Miller to inbound again. He's got nothing inside. He'll fire it up for Stone King, and it's deflected by Woodard. And now the Ironmen have a 4-on-1. Nice ball movement. And Woodard with the cherry on top. Ironmen have a 9-point lead now after the basket from Charlie Woodard.
Biggest lead of the night.
Now here's Badger trying to work on Jenkins, gets tripped, and a steal by Leg up the floor to Simons on the fast break, jump stop, and finishes. Lead up to double digits for the Ironmen, and Chillicothe wants a full timeout to talk it over. Ryan Simons extends the lead to 11, and we'll step aside. You're watching Ohio High School basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real, reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo-Hio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
Chillicothe with possession back as they trail by 11 to Jackson, their largest deficit of the night. John, we were talking during the break about some of the adjustments Chillicothe might need to make offensively as there's another steal from the Ironmen. Here's Wolford, can't finish. And Carte Ligon grabs the rebound and he pushes it up the floor. Ligon out to Badger. Badger off the glass, in and out. Ligon grabs the rebound and collides with Jenkins. The foul will go against Stephen Jenkins.
Well, I can tell you a big adjustment. quit turning the ball over. Quit throwing the ball directly to Jackson to get runouts, because that's where they got their last 2 baskets, nearly get 3 straight. Got to take care of the ball, get some good looks.
Miller inbounds it to Stone King. Hammond jump stops, pivots back out to Stone King. Cavaliers working the perimeter a little bit. Hammond thought about the corner 3. He'll drive it out instead.
And if you're just going to try to dribble drive, it's not going to work.
There's Ligon inside, underhand. Can't get it to fall. Hammond with the rebound. Second effort's good.
Good effort there, as you mentioned, by Andrew Hammond. But starts with Ligon, gets the ball in the block, and goes to work. Instead of the dribble drive on the outside where you're not going to get penetration, ends up to get a chance inside. Good follow by Andrew Hammond.
And it was nice that Ligon missed long to allow Hammond to get the rebound. What a pass from Jenkins to Legg. No-look pass on the block for Garrett Legg, and the senior gets his first 2 points.
Yeah, you don't stop the dribble. Once it finally gets stopped, he knows his help side or backside guy's going to be there. Great play from Stephen Jenkins.
Hammond pump fakes, drives, gives it out to Miller. Miller tried to go through a double team, and he loses it again. There's Woodard up the floor. Wolford through contact, draws the foul.
Yeah, once again, they're trying to dribble drive. They're not running any offense. It's Chillicothe, and it's not going to work. You get down. This is what happens with Jackson, too. You get down. It's hard to run through your offense when you're down. So you think we got to do some individual stuff. But it doesn't work because they're so solid defensively. I mean, one of the previous games we did of them this year, they gave up 29 points. They only scored 30, but they only had to score 30 to win that game. So Jackson is a team that will, like you said, 14-1 when holding teams under 50. Like, they'll just shut your water off. And they've done that so far here tonight after that first quarter.
Bodie Wolford splits the difference at the charity stripe. That pushes the lead up to 12. There's 3:50 remain here in the third quarter. Chillicothe in desperate need of something offensively as Hammond kicks it out to Stone King. Tried to go for Netter in the post. He lost it, but it's out of bounds on the Ironman.
Good work by Garrett Legg. It's going to check out, but good work by Legg. Recovering there and just getting that ball out of bounds. I believe this 12 points is the biggest lead.
Garrett Legg, the lone senior on this Ironman squad, averaged 8 points and 8 rebounds a game for Piketon last season, on his way to becoming third-team All-SVC. As here's Caden Cox now in the corner, guarded by Jax Carroll. Cox pull up off the back iron, and it's tipped out. Rebound Hammond. Now Ligon will fire from the corner off the front iron. And Simons will haul it in for Jackson. Up the floor now, Woodard, pull up 3, it's good. Charlie Woodard again from downtown, and the lead's up to 15 for the Ironmen.
13 now for Woodard, 3 threes on the night.
There's Netter inside, turnaround, too strong. And 2 Ironmen went for it, and it goes right to Andrew Hammond, who draws the foul on the drive.
Yeah, Hammond going to step to the line. It's a must now to get some points here for the Cavaliers, as they are really struggling on the offensive end, and then Jackson starting to feel it on their offensive end, which I talked about a little bit in the pregame and a little bit in the first, where Jackson doesn't shoot it really well from 3. But when they're feeling good, when they're able to step into the shot and shoot with confidence, they're good shooters. Charlie Woodard showing that tonight, as he is 3 for 5 from 3. And it's, they work really well with each other as well. It's really nice team chemistry here for the Ironmen.
Hammond knocks down both free throws. Carter Williams, the sophomore, comes in for the first time tonight for Chillicothe.
Try to change up a little bit here.
Simons has Williams dancing. Jump stops, kicks it out to Garrett Legg. Williams trying to go for a steal on Jenkins. Will force him to pick up his dribble. And now Simons has it near midcourt, making Williams dance again. Here's Woodard again from the corner, no good. And Netter grabs the rebound and took a hard fall. And he gets up very quickly. Good to see from Noah Netter.
Yeah, I think, when Legg fouled him on the way down, I think he actually kind of slowed him a little bit too, because it looked like it was going to be a super hard fall, but ends up, thankfully, as you said, not super aggressive on the hitting the deck.
2:15 remaining in the third quarter. Ironmen ahead by 13. They've pulled away tremendously since the middle of the second quarter. It's Chillicothe in desperate need of an answer. Here's Juan Miller driving down the middle, kicks it out to Ligon.
We had 7 lead changes in that first quarter and a half, and since then it's been all Jackson.
Ligon almost lost it. He picks up his dribble. And now Juan Miller has it outside. There's Miller through traffic and gets it to go off the glass.
And that might be the only matchup where you have it, where you get Legg pulled out a little bit. Good work there by Miller, and a nice finish as well.
First 2 points of the night for Juan Miller, and now there's a tie-up. And the possession arrow points to the Cavaliers.
The first turnover of the quarter for Jackson. A little mini 4-0 run here for Chillicothe. If they can get it under 10 after 3, they're going to give themselves a little bit of life here. 10 or more, it's going to be pretty tough to come back on this Jackson team.
The first time these two teams met, Chillicothe trailed by double digits and came back late as Carte Ligon drives and finishes off the glass. And the lead is back down to single digits. It's a 9-point game.
Yeah, a stop here and maybe a score to finish the quarter, and you're feeling pretty good if you're Chillicothe. Good work there by the freshman Ligon. Beat his man and finish at the glass.
4 points on the night for Ligon. As less than a minute remains here in the third quarter, Ironmen working the perimeter. Here's Woodard guarded tight by Cox. Now leg dribble handoff to Bodie Wolford. Wolford back outside. Now Simons has it. He'll back it out. Gives it to Carroll in the corner.
Ooh.
Corner trap there from the Cavaliers. Simons drives, kicks it out. Woodard again from downtown. That's no good. And Williams fights for the rebound and gets a foul called on Jax Carroll.
Carter Williams, his first play was very off balance. Looked like Simons was going to shake him down. But since then, he's bounced back and has made a positive contribution so far for the Cavaliers, looking to score his first points now as he'll step to the line.
As that last foul was the 5th of the quarter on the Ironmen, sending Williams to the charity stripe. And the sophomore rattles in and out his first free throw attempt. As Steven Jenkins will re-enter for the Ironmen. Chillicothe shot 77% from the foul line in their win over Logan Elm on Tuesday, as Williams splits the difference on that trip and cuts the lead back down to 8. 20 seconds left in the third as Carroll crosses the timeline. Carroll trying to shake and bake Williams. Carroll drives, got stripped by Cox, but draws the foul going up for the layup.
Good job of refusing the screen by Carroll, driving to the basket. Now he gets a chance to get his first points of the game. So that foul is going to be on Cox, his first.
As the 5'9" junior knocks down his first free throw attempt, as Garrett Legg and CJ Crabtree will re-enter for Jackson. Elsewhere in the FAC, as the second quarter begins at Miami Trace, the Panthers with a 12-10 lead on Washington Courthouse.
And not sure why our scoreboard's showing a minute 15. It should be 11.5.
As Netter grabs the rebound, here's Juan Miller up the floor. 5 seconds remaining. Miller drives, step back three, way off balance. And the buzzer sounds. That brings us to the end of the third quarter as the Jackson Ironmen have a 9-point lead on the Chillicothe Cavaliers. Chillicothe showing some life there towards the end. Can they bring it into the fourth? We'll see. You're watching Ohio High School basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week, presented by Willie and Son Trucking, each week at sosaohio.com.
Caleb Williams has transferred to Wendy's for the new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This burger's my inspiration, and I just hope to inspire you.
Oh, you have inspired us.
Thought we were doing names on the headband.
Get it together. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
8 minutes left to play between Jackson and Chillicothe as the Ironmen have a 37-28 lead on the Cavaliers, looking to close things out in their final home game of the regular season. As Wolford hands it off to Jenkins. Jenkins driving down the paint and a foul.
Looked like Chillicothe was grabbing some momentum, and then immediately a really nice design play there and a great finish through the contact by Steven Jenkins.
Yeah, great action there. The handoff from Wolford to Jenkins for the and one.
Third assist for Wolford.
As the made free throw pushes the lead to 12, it's 40-28, and that puts Jenkins in double figures scoring. Now here's Caden Cox trying to work on Woodard. Juan Miller now gives it up. Cavaliers working the perimeter. Here's Juan Miller again. They've got Badger in the post. Here's Miller, drives, jump stops, gives it out to Cox. Cox pulls up from the foul line, in and out. Badger grabs the rebound. Second effort off the glass, and Badger gets it to go.
I really like how Cam Badger plays. Just so much effort in his game. Keeps the Cavaliers in it for the time being with a nice putback basket.
Badger only 6'3", but has been playing down low a lot for the Cavaliers as Wolford inside gets the tough bucket over the middle of the iron.
7 now. Nice little handoff there from Woodard to Wolford. And a nice finish inside, back to a 12-point lead.
Now Badger in the post again over the middle, off the rim. And Jenkins holds in the rebound. Up the floor, Simons with the easy layup.
Simons missed his first shot from the field, but he's been perfect since then. Hit his last 5, 11 points for the junior.
Third man in double figures for Jackson tonight. Ironmen ahead by 14. Here's Miller pull up from the elbow, off the glass. And Legg hauls in the rebound. Now Simons pushing it up the floor. Simons jump stops, kicks it out. Tried to go for Jenkins, too long. An errant pass gives Chillicothe possession back.
Yeah, they tightened up the turnovers a little bit there in the third, only 1 after 6 in the second quarter. That one just got a little too deep, did Simons, leading to the turnover.
As Hammond will step out for Chillicothe, Carte Ligon will re-enter. Here's Cox trying to drive past Woodard. Fade away, airmails it.
Just too tough of shots right now for the Cavaliers.
As Badger commits the foul on Simons. And we talked back in the first half, Chillicothe was getting a lot of really good looks that they weren't finishing on. But now you see the Cavaliers, the quality in their shot selection has kind of been deteriorating as the game has gone on.
Yeah, that's something Jackson can do. They can get you frustrated to make you take bad shots. We're going to get a timeout here.
Simons got tripped up trying to go baseline. It'll be a 30-second timeout for the Ironmen.
Yeah, I hope they
keep it here.
Yeah, I hope they get a towel out there because that's he slipped a little bit.
He had the one down where he kind of dragged his foot when he was corralling the ball.
but instead they're just going to talk about it, not worry about the towel. But yeah, right now for Chillicothe, just not getting good looks, and then Jackson is getting good looks, which is why they've been able to expand this lead a little bit, which, I mean, that shows the maturity of the team. And I think even though they only have the one senior, the fact that they have so many guys that have played for 3 years, because Woodard, Simons, Wolford were playing big minutes. I don't know if Crabtree was as a freshman, or not Crabtree, Carroll was as a freshman, but I know Jenkins was coming off the bench and playing big minutes for him. So they're very experienced, even though they don't have a lot of seniors. And Garrett Legg has played a lot of varsity basketball as well. So they make things difficult for you, and they adjust really well, as they clearly did after Chillicothe made that little run to end the third.
As Wolford got it poked away, Cavaliers picking up the intensity on their on-ball defense. Swing pass Simons to Wolford down the paint. Wolford finishes at the rim.
4th assist for Simons, 9 points for Wolford. Needs one more to get us a 4th Ironman in double figures.
Simons dishing it to Wolford, the reverse of what we see on the football field for the Ironmen. As Badger pulls up from the elbow, that's no good, and Miller grabs the offensive board. Now here's Stone King, picks up his dribble. Badger has it now outside. Badger on the drive, gets it to go off the glass and rattles around the rim for 2 points. And Pat Beard wants a timeout now with his team trailing by 14. It'll be a 30-second timeout again. We'll keep it here.
Yeah, I like the aggressiveness from Cam Badger there. Gets to his right hand and finishes up off the glass. His last game, he had 6.6 rebounds on Tuesday. He's got 6.5 rebounds here tonight. And while it may not seem like, 6 and 6, but the consistency of that, you need that. You need guys that are going to give you consistency throughout. And, where Juan Miller in the first matchup had 15 for Chillicothe, he's only got 2 tonight. So that's a big difference. They've known Jackson has, looked at the scouting report. Okay, he killed us the first matchup. They've taken that away completely. He's only gotten 5 shots in this one after scoring 15 in the first matchup. So just a nice adjustment there for the Ironmen.
It's pretty much desperation time now if you're Chillicothe. What do you do trailing by 14 with 5 minutes left?
Yeah, you've got some nice athletes. Just keep being aggressive. They're not likely to turn it over, but they will on occasion.
Ligon gets a steal. Ligon lost his dribble, finds Cox, who just hangs on to it. Cox, baseline drive, gets it to fall.
Yeah,
12 points for Caden Cox, and that cuts the deficit back down to 12.
Yeah, if you can just speed them up a little bit, you can make some bad decisions.
Now Wolford inside, high off the glass, can't get it to go. Second effort on the offensive board is good, however.
And really, that was one of those kind of bad decisions. But we're going to get a turnover for Chillicothe.
Another turnover. Jenkins picks it up. No-look pass to Wolford, who got stripped. And he collides with Cam Badger after he lost the ball.
Probably not the first time those guys collided pretty good in their lives. So,
especially Bodie Wolford. Quarterback of the Jackson football squad, led the Ironmen to another FAC title this year. Set the all-time record for single-season passing touchdowns as Wolford draws the foul again on Badger.
I call that one on the floor. It's going to be the 4th on Badger.
Now Simons will inbound. Here's Woodard again from outside. Charlie Woodard has had himself a night from downtown, and he leads all scorers with 16.
4 triples for Woodard.
Stone King trying to answer back with a 3 and does.
It's only the 3rd shot attempt for Cooper Stone King. He's 2 for 2 from 3, 6 points for the junior.
Now Simons draws the foul on the far sideline against Stone King. It's the 3rd foul on Cooper Stone King tonight. Now if you're Chillicothe, starting to get some of your key guys in foul trouble now late.
Yeah, just not a lot of time to come back, so you've got to up the aggressiveness of your Chillicothe. But the next foul will lead to free throws for the Ironmen.
Noah Netter re-enters for Chillicothe. As the on-ball pressure picking up a little bit. There's Simons trapped near the midcourt line. Up the floor now, Crabtree inside for Jenkins, draws the foul on Miller.
Jenkins will step to the line now where he is 2 for 2 on the night. Good work there. They cut so well without the ball. And a good job just getting towards the basket. And a good find from Crabtree, who hasn't played very much. But immediately with his head up, finds his teammate. Now it's going to result in free throws.
First one good from Jenkins. And you mentioned that's kind of been the difference between these two teams. We've seen a lot of good movement away from the ball for Jackson, something that we haven't seen a lot of from Chillicothe.
Yeah, they just haven't really been kind of rolling together so much. It's not. I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it, but it seems like when they're starting to attack, someone's not cutting on the backside, or they're not on the same page throughout.
This is a team that doesn't have as much experience, but they've still been able to pick up a lot of good wins this year. Stone King knocks it down from outside again. Lead back down to 13, second three-pointer on consecutive possessions for Stone King, and we'll step aside. Jackson ahead by 13. You're watching Ohio High School basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new Pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
.316 remaining here in Jackson as the Ironmen hold a 53-40 lead over Chillicothe.
This is the shortest full timeout ever.
That's something we were discussing during that shortest full timeout ever, as Jackson quickly gets the ball up the floor. Now Chillicothe looking to trap the ball. As Woodard finds Carroll inside. Crabtree can't finish the layup. And there's a scramble for it. They'll say it was out of bounds on Crabtree.
Yeah, it was just a good cut on the backside. I think Crabtree had a little more time than he was expecting. And maybe the 6'6" frame of Noah Netter had a little bit to do with him hurrying that layup.
Under 3 minutes left. Chillicothe needs to hurry. Ligon dishes it to Cox outside. Cox driving on Wolford, pulls up. Can't get it to go off the glass.
So much body on that shot.
I'll call a loose ball foul, it looks like, on Noah Netter. So that's his first of the night. That will send Jackson back to the free throw line.
Should be Woodard, because he was the interior man. Crabtree pulled it down from the outside, yeah.
It will be Woodard.
Woodard has not shot a free throw yet tonight, but 4 for 8 from three-point range. Has had a nice night, helping keep this lead at 13, keep extending it when it's gotten a little bit closer.
Woodard knocks down the first one on that trip. 9 points, 5 rebounds in their last game, a win over Waverly. Badger and Hammond back in action for the Cavaliers. Woodard sinks both attempts from the charity stripe. That'll push the lead to 15, and Woodard's got 18 on the night. Now Stone King through traffic down the middle, gets it to go over the front of the rim.
Yeah, would have liked to see, them kind of flip the switch for Stone King earlier, as he's gotten 8 quick points here for the Cavaliers.
11 total on the night for Cooper Stone King. Jackson playing a little bit of hurry up as Chillicothe again picking up the intensity on ball. As Wolford has it, kicks it out. Simons and Max Morrow will use a timeout. And we'll step aside with just over 2 minutes to go. You're watching Ohio High School basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
Look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par-Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par-Mar has it. Download the Par-Mar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Par-Mar rewards card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
2:06 remaining here at Jackson High School. Ironmen in front of Chillicothe, 55-42. And they look to finish the job here with 2:06 remaining.
Yeah, Jackson probably going to look to run some clock. Might be a layup, wide open 3, or a free throw. Might be the only way you're going to see Jackson putting the ball up.
Here's Jenkins, finds Wolford inside. Wolford can't get it to finish.
But it's got to be a guaranteed layup. It can't be a contested one.
Ligon tried to push the ball down the floor. He'll draw the foul.
Yeah, that's, for Chillicothe, that's what you want. Where, Jackson takes the layup, but it's a very contested one. And now you get the ball back if you're Chillicothe with a chance to cut into the lead.
Miller to inbound. Finds Ligon outside. Now Stone King with it. 1:45 to go. Long 3 from Stone King. Rims out. And Jenkins lost it. Stone King again from downtown off the front iron. Jenkins grabs the rebound again, and a foul called on the Cavaliers.
2 pretty good looks. The first one pretty deep from Stone King. But that second one was about as good of a look as you're going to get there. Unfortunately for the Cavaliers, unable to connect. He'd been shooting really well tonight. Was 3 for 3 before that on the three-point range. Now Jenkins will have a chance to extend at the line.
Stone King 11 points on the night for the Cavaliers. Here's the first attempt from Jenkins, in and out.
His first miss of the night.
Ironmen with 4 players in double figures tonight. And Jenkins adds to his total. He's got 13 after the made free throw. 90 seconds remaining here in Jackson. Ironmen looking to close out their home regular season slate as Juan Miller finishes at the rim through traffic.
Pretty Euro step there from Juan Miller.
And it'll be a 30-second timeout for Chillicothe. We'll keep it here. But it's late in the game. Jackson just trying to get through this last minute 23.
Yeah, just got to, handle the ball. If you get a layup, make it. If you get fouled, knock down your free throws. You can't have any turnovers, especially live ball turnovers. You're up 12. That's a pretty comfortable lead. But with what we've seen from Cooper Stone King from the outside, Caden Cox can get going as well. You don't want to give these guys any hope. So maintain possession and just be solid if you're Jackson here in this last minute 23.
Yeah, this Chillicothe team, we've seen it tonight in some stretches, but they can get hot at any moment, but they just haven't been able to capitalize when they get those good looks.
Yeah, just too long of stretches. It really about the 4-minute mark of the second quarter until about the 4-minute mark of the third. It's just too long of stretches of not scoring. And that's ultimately what's going to more than likely cost them this ball game.
Jackson looking to break a full court press for Chillicothe. And they do it pretty easily. Here's Simons now. He'll back it out. Simons tried to dish it to Wolford. Almost went out of bounds.
See, and those aren't things you need. Just solid passes.
When Jenkins drives, kicks it out, Simons. Now the Ironmen are going to try to milk as much of this clock as they can on this possession. As Wolford got stripped, they're going to call a foul on Cam Badger, and that'll be it for Cam Badger tonight. That's his 5th foul.
He's going to finish with 6 points, 5 rebounds on the night. Played super hard, though. Like I'm a fan of how Cam Badger is going to play, and you need that out of your seniors, that effort when maybe your team isn't shooting that well. You got to have that effort guy, and Cam Badger is able to bring it tonight. But unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be just a little too late.
As Wolford knocks down the first free throw, Jackson 56 seconds away from finishing their FAC slate 8-2. If Miami Trace is able to hold on, Jackson will solidify a second-place finish in the FAC as Wolford knocks down the second free throw. Stone King to Hammond. Hammond from outside. Off the back rim. Stone King with the rebound, and he'll draw the foul with 45 seconds left. At the half, Miami Trace with a tight 20-18 lead on the Blue Lions.
Not too surprised. They haven't played for quite a while as well, and that's a big rivalry game.
Miller tried to inbound to Ligon. It gets deflected. Chillicothe will keep it. Miller again to inbound. Looking for something. Gets it out to Ligon. Ligon, baseline drive, got it stripped. And out of bounds on the Ironmen once again. .4 to go. Here's Noah Netter inside. Netter over leg, can't get it to go, and Jenkins grabs the rebound. Here's Simons inside. Woodard off the glass, and that brings Woodard to 20 points on the night. The cherry on top for the Jackson Ironmen.
We're going to see a short timeout here. I think maybe to get some subs in. Maybe it's just maybe it was, let's get Garrett Legg an applause. I like it.
Garrett Legg steps off the floor at Jackson High School for the final time. He only spent 1 year here at Jackson, but he's been a big contributor to this team's success all year long.
Yeah, only 2 points on the night, but 7 rebounds for him as well. A good floor game for Garrett Legg.
Mass substitution here for the Ironmen. They'll move to 16-5 on the season with 1 regular season game remaining. They'll travel to Gallia Academy on Monday before getting ready for the tournament. Their first dose of tournament action coming on February 25th, a Division IV district semifinal at Southeastern High School. 20 seconds remaining here as the Cavaliers looking to salvage something as Stone King fires from downtown and connects. Timeout Jackson for another sub as we'll get Tanner Jenkins, or no, excuse me, that is Braden Porter onto the floor for the Ironmen. As Jackson will dribble out the final seconds. And that'll conclude this one tonight. The Jackson Ironmen finish their home regular season slate with the win over Chillicothe, 60-47. The final score in favor of the Ironmen. They'll move once again to 16-5 overall and 8-2 in the FAC.
Yeah, just a really impressive performance from Jackson. Offensively looked better throughout the night as well. Anytime you get 4 guys in double figures, which we'll go over after our break.
We'll step aside, and when we come back, we'll give our final thoughts on tonight and what's ahead for both teams. You're watching Ohio High School Basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Hey, Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
Glow Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real, reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glow Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glow Fiber is here. Welcome to Glow Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiber.com to switch today.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
You look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
If there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par Mar has it. Download the Par Mar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Par Mar rewards card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Caleb Williams has transferred to Wendy's for the new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This burger's my inspiration, and I just hope to inspire you.
Oh, you have inspired us.
Thought we were doing names on the headband.
Get it together. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new loaded nacho cheeseburger.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie and Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
We welcome you back into Jackson High School, where the final score, the Jackson Ironmen knock off the Chillicothe Cavaliers 60-47. The Ironmen moved to 16-5 overall and finished their FAC slate 8-2. Chillicothe falling to 10-11 overall, 5-4 in the FAC. John, your final thoughts on this one?
Well, what started as a pretty competitive game in that first half kind of got out of hand in the third. Then Chillicothe kept battling. They were competitive throughout, but really never got back into the game after they got down. I believe 17 was the most they got down. It pretty much stayed between 10 and 14 most of the second half. But, you know, a really impressive performance from Jackson. I liked what I saw out of Charlie Woodard shooting the ball. Ryan Simons knocked down a triple as well. They're not going to be a team that's going to knock down 10 threes in a game. But if they can get to consistently knocking down 4 or 5, that's just going to space the floor so much that they're so much more difficult to guard on the dribble drive. And then once you get down on them, it's hard because you're going to try to pressure them. They don't get rattled real well. They did have 12 turnovers in the game. But like I say, they don't really get rattled. They move the ball well. They take pretty smart shots. There's a couple times tonight they took some shots, I'm sure, when they look back on the film. They're like, maybe not. But at the same time, they're up by 10 to 12 at that time. And that's why that Jackson team has won a lot of basketball games this year. So just real quick through the stats. For Jackson, they were led by Charlie Woodard with 20 points. He hit 4 triples on the night. He also had 7 rebounds, a couple of steals as well. Stephen Jenkins with a double-double, 13 points, 10 rebounds. 13 points for Buddy Wolford. Ryan Simons with 11 points, 6 assists. Garrett Legg in his last home game here, 2 points, 7 rebounds, 1 point for Jax Carroll. And then C.J. Crabtree gave some good minutes as well. And then they cleared the bench a little bit there late. But 12 turnovers for the Ironmen. They led at every stop, 12-10, 21-16, and then 37-28. And then obviously the 60-47. So you win every quarter. Stats say you're going to win the game. So nice win for Jackson here on senior night. For Chillicothe, they were led in scoring by Cooper Stoneking with 14. He had 11 of those in the fourth quarter, really caught fire to keep them kind of having a chance with the puncher's chance there. But he had 14 in the game. 12 points for Caden Cox. Most of that came in the first 8 minutes and 20 seconds of the game. I think he had 7 points in that time. 6 points, 5 rebounds for Cam Badger. 6 points, 8 rebounds for Andrew Hammond. 4 points for Juan Miller and Carte Ligon. And then Carter Williams scored 1 point. I thought he gave good minutes there at the end of the third when they made, I think it was an 8-2 run to end the third. But ultimately just a little too late for the Cavaliers, and that's why they're going to drop to 10-11. But I think they get an excellent chance tomorrow if they can flush this to finish the regular season 11-11. And then you win that first tournament game, you got a chance to finish at least 500 when it's a team that they've been rebuilding for the last few years. But when this team gets it, they're going to be very, very dangerous as soon as they get things turned around.
Absolutely. And looking ahead for Jackson, too, again, they go to Gallia Academy on Monday. They'll get ready for the tournament. And, fortunately enough for Jackson, they are the 2 seed in Division 4. They're in the bracket where you wouldn't have to face Megs at all until probably the regional final.
Regional final, yeah.
And you've got a pretty favorable matchup in your bracket. It's gonna be tough regardless, but you look at your bracket, you look at the matchup you have in the tournament.
It's all teams you've played and beat.
Absolutely, and this is definitely a situation where if you're Jackson, you're looking at a possible first ever district title.
Yeah, but you can't get too far ahead of yourselves because that's the Washington Courthouse. They beat the 2 games by a combined 10 points. Now, Courthouse also scored 58 total points in those 2 games. But Courthouse is a dangerous team. Waverly has got some talent. They got some stuff going on there. If they can tighten it back up for the tournament, that's a dangerous Waverly team as well. So, it's – and then Uniota is very good. And it's just, it's not a great matchup for them against Jackson, but it would be a big-time revenge game because that's the only game this year – well – Miami Trace wasn't the closest with Uniota, but I felt like they were more competitive in that Miami Trace game than the Jackson game, even though Jackson ended up technically closer. So, for Jackson, they've got a nice thing set up for them in the future, but they need to get that four balanced scoring. If they can get 4 guys in double figures each game, they're going to be a really tough team to beat for anybody, not just in the Southeast District, but in the East District and then maybe beyond as well.
So that'll all but wrap up our coverage of high school basketball in the regular season. I imagine you and Dewey will have at least one stream of a girls' tournament game next week, and then we'll get into the boys' tournament as it progresses as well.
So the big thing is tomorrow. There's district quarterfinals in girls, and we'll kind of see, and we'll make an announcement either tomorrow night or Saturday night, maybe into Sunday, but we'll be doing a game on Wednesday. And then I believe district finals, which it could be 2 in Division 5, it could be 1 in Division 4. We'll kind of see the way things kind of shake out. We just got to look at matchups in that, but they're at places that are very good to us. Like Jackson has been very good to us as well. We appreciate all the help they give us here. It's just this week has been great. We've done 3 live streams at 2 places we haven't been before and 1 that we're pretty familiar with here at Jackson, but gotten a lot of good help. We got help from an AD that his team was not playing in any of the games, and it wasn't at his school as well. And Matt Combs helped us out there as well. So shout out to Chesapeake. Ross County Christian Academy in Westfall put on a nice show last night. If you haven't watched that one yet, that was a little bit of scoring. 92-80 was the final in that one. And then Wednesday's game was a double overtime game for Fairland to beat Chesapeake. So we've had a pretty good week here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority. And at the very least, I know there's not very many of you hanging with us still, but Coach's Call-In show was filmed last night. Check that one out. Overtime presented by Perfection One is on. It's on Tuesdays. We went over the girls' tournament brackets on this week's show, and next week we will talk about the boys' tournament brackets as well. So check us out on Tuesday with that, and then we'll have a lot of coverage tomorrow for some girls' games. I think I'm going to go to Menford at Eastern Pike tomorrow night. So, yeah, check everything out. Follow on our socials and whatnot, and check out our sponsors as well, as all of our sponsors are awesome and make it to where we can do this as well.
It's been a great regular season for us indeed, and we will now turn our attention to the tournament. But one final time from Jackson High School, it's the Jackson Ironmen 60, the Chillicothe Cavaliers 47. From Kenneth Hay, our cameraman, and John Bruce, I'm Carson Francis. We thank you for tuning in to tonight's presentation of Ohio High School basketball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Okay, we're good.